Like, that was always in me. Like, I went to school, and I would buy candy for a penny, and then I would sell it for 25 cents in school. And I was like, oh, this is fun. And it was not because I needed it. It was more about, like, my own accomplishment as a kid, right? Like, my mom, we would go shopping every Sunday. Every Sunday of the week, we would go shopping. It was like, that was the routine, that was my life. And then, when I was 13, I turned 13, I wanted a phone. Mom was like, you want a phone? I'm like, I want the latest phone. And she's like, well, yeah, you know what? You're gonna have to work for that. And so, she taught me responsibility. She taught me how to save money, how to make money, and that everything in life has a value. At an early age, I learned that money and the exchange of either your knowledge, your goods or services, there's money involved. You know, my mom, I wanted that expensive phone. My mom had to go to work for it, really hard for it, to spoil me. So she was like, you know what? You go learn and make it happen. I was like, how? She's like, you know what? Take care of those kids. Over there, right over there. Take care of those kids. Just make sure that, you know, the house isn't burned down. And then, you know, have fun. I'm like, oh, great. That's easy. Feed them a little bit. Great. So I babysitted, I did a couple of things, learned a little bit of money. I'm like, you know what? I love this. I could do this all day long. I said, Mom, I don't need your money. And I started doing, like, figuring it out on my own. I would gamble, take people's money. I was just so lucky. We would roll dice. Next thing you know, the little girl in the room had everyone's money. And it was just luck. So it was like, oh my God, this is so easy. And then one thing led to the other. Fast forward, I went to school. I went to high school, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to figure out what I want to do for my life. Because I don't want to wait. I don't want to sit down and figure it out. I just want to go and finish college. And I was like, what do I want? What do I want to do? And back then, it was graphic designs. Like, graphic design was a big thing, a big deal. And I always knew that I liked to be creative. Like, I like to be creative, but I didn't know how to draw. I didn't know drawing. So, got a degree in graphic designs. Did well in the computer, always did. But the drawings, my sister used to do it for me. My sister used to take care of the drawings because I can't draw. You'll see my chicken scratch and you'll be like, girl, you need help. And so, you know, I was successful at that. I got a really good job in the corporate world. I was making $20 an hour, you know, being 17 years old. I was like, man, this is awesome. But I was in a fashion company. I worked for a fashion company. And I was like, you know, they want me to do like fashion work. I wanted to learn graphic design. This is not where I'm going. You know, and I'm consulting. I was making a lot of money for a 17-year-old. But I was like, you know what? Yeah, I refused it, and I went and worked for a print shop. So in the print shop, I learned everything about printing, and color, and design, and I used to do newsletters, logos, like I learned a ton. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. What's next? Because I already know everything. Then I started, I went into real estate, and I did real estate for a while, just around the time when the financial crisis happened. So I had a lot of great deals going on. I'm like, I got this, I got that. And next thing you know, I did make some money because everyone was getting approved. Everyone was getting housing, and it was ridiculous until that collapsed. And then all the deals that I had pending went down the drain. I was like, okay, what's next? I went to car sales, and I started selling cars. Next thing you know, the financial crisis touched just about every industry, where I was like a few months into the car industry, and you could no longer make car sales anymore because you would drop a pin in the floor and you can hear it. There's no one buying anything. So I found myself back into square one all over again and saying, okay, what am I going to do now? Because no one's buying anything. So I went back to school, and I went back to school for business marketing because I always like, the creative portion of it. So I got my degree in business marketing. I bartended went to school, 2 degrees. Now 2 amazing papers. Where am I gonna go with this? And I started from scratch. I was making more money doing bartending, doing, car sales and real estate, and then now starting, back from scratch as a marketer. And I really didn't like the environment in the corporate world too much. When I got a little bit of a taste of it, I was like, I don't know if I fit in. This is not who I am. And once I did that, I got a taste of it, I was like, man, it's gonna be tough. I found a friend on LinkedIn, and he says, you know what, we're hiring technical recruiters who want to apply. I applied, got the job, became a technical recruiter. I was like, okay, this is great. They trained me, they sent me to Maryland for training, that amazing training. That company, they're pretty big, they're nation worldwide tech systems. Got paid amazing. I was working 50 hours a week and trying to be like a superwoman at the end of the day. And I was like, you know what? This is good for now, but I don't see myself being here, because everyone who became an employee at Tech Systems, month 1, you would know either it's your job or your home. You didn't have a work-life balance. So if you were going to decide that it was your work, you were going to excel in your job. But if you were going to come here and think that you can do both, it's not going to happen. You're going to be out. And I just decided to be out, because I was like, this is not the life that I intend to have. I'm burning out. I'm like, I can't be good at anything, because I'm working 50 hours a week. I was finding time to go to the gym. I was coming home, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the home. Like, I was doing everything, and I still didn't have enough time for myself or my family. So I was like, you know what? I need to do what it is that it's my burning desire, and my burning desire was always to have my own company and my own business. And I started following Ty. I got my social media marketing certificate with Ty, and followed through that certificate, finished it, and I was like, you know what? Let's go, let's do it. And then I started helping businesses around my area, doing social media marketing and helping them grow their business with using social media platforms. I got mostly restaurants, because that was my niche, restaurants and dealerships. And that was another struggle, because I was like, you know what, now how am I going to scale? There's no way I'm going to scale being a solopreneur, because here I am, I'm doing the marketing, I'm creating the pictures, I'm taking the videos, I am hand-holding my client through the process of learning social media marketing. I'm doing like the business development. I am working on my own business. I'm being a CEO and running my own show. There was no way. So I said, you know what? There has to be another way. And I was able to find Paul. So I think I was telling you a little bit, right? Slightly, right? So when I met Paul, I realized, I learned that he was managing a lot of these wealthy entrepreneurs, like their social media. And through him, I learned a lot of hacks, a lot more about social media and what it takes to grow your social media, to get leads. Like, I have a lot more knowledge, but then I no longer had to focus on that. I only had to focus, working with Paul, I only had to focus in client acquisition. And then, so that lasted for so long as well, because I realized that, you know what, I needed to embrace what it is that I came here to do, which was have my own business. And working with Paul gave me a lot of opportunities, and I met a lot of great people, and I learned a lot, but it was not like having my own business. So here I am today, in my venue, my office space, my agency, and I've just been fortunate to meet a lot of great people that helped me to get here, because I didn't do this alone. I did not do this alone. I really, like Tammy said, you have to be surrounded by the right people. That's going to get you here. And we're only at the base, right? We're just starting. We're just starting. So I guess that's kind of like my story, and I guess I'll tie it in with what my vision is to have for this place, which is collaboration. I want to be able to have this place and collaborate with other entrepreneurs or business people that are looking to excel and have that same mindset. Because you can't do it alone. No one can. There's no way. It doesn't matter who you are. The only way that you do it alone is when you work for someone else. That's it. If you work for someone else, sure, no problem. You get in, you get out, you get paid. Right? And as long as they need you, you will always be there. But when they don't, that door is always going to be open as well. Right? So we all know that. And I think that the entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship has evolved so much to a higher level that the world is changing so rapidly because of technology, because people understand that now they can capitalize on social media. They're understanding that there are other opportunities. They're understanding and they're seeing that network marketing is another opportunity for you to make money. You work just as hard in your own job, doing what you do for yourself, for another company, than what you do if you work to work in a network marketing job. The only difference is so subjective and so, what's the word? It's perception, really. When you go to work from a 9 to 5, they tell you gotta do this, sorry. That, right? They give you a whole list and they fill up that list. They make sure you don't have enough time to go get that other job. Because that's what people always say, right? I don't have time to go and have a part-time. Because they make sure that your list is full, that your time is, is taken. That even when you go to work, you're still working for them. Because that's the way that you're going to be able to excel, right? When you work for yourself, you're doing the same exact thing. The only thing is that we're always thinking about, like, is this secure? Having that security and that backup is what holds us back. So why I'm telling you all this is because I want to create this space and opportunity for everyone to have that, not only that support system, but more than anything, that culture, right? That we're helping each other out. Like now more consistently, I have Tammy, I have my sister, I have another friend of mine that's not here. And we're here every single day. We get in that room and we're all working, we have everyone's back. I want the same thing that we have now. My vision is to have the same thing that we have now at a much, much larger scale. Go ahead, make yourself, there you go. At a larger scale, because why not? Why can't we do that? We can. It's a matter of finding the right people that are going to be aligned, that's going to see the vision. And more and more, I'm finding more people that see it and that want that and that need that they have that desire to make those things happen. So later on, I guess I'll show you and I'll talk a little bit more about like the venue and the opportunities that we have to collaborate and help each other's business. But for now, I'm going to dive into the social media hacks.
8 minutes for till what's his name gets on.
I'll text him and I'll tell him to hang on tight.
Got it.
He's somewhere else, so it's cool. I want everyone to take out their phones and look at their social media, because instead of me telling you what it is that you need to do, you guys are gonna figure it out. And it's gonna be so obvious because just like we are there it is. That's good. Yeah. Just like we are consumers, we're buyers, correct? Do we agree? We're consumers and we're buyers and we're sellers, right? Like we're all standing in that same position, but we just don't see that because it's not been given to us the opportunity to look at it that way, right? Does everyone have Instagram?
Yes.
Have Instagram? Okay. I'm gonna pick on the new girl. What's your name?
Austin.
Austin? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Sure.
What's your Instagram handle?
Austin, Texas.
Why?
Because that is the first thing I thought of because of my name.
Okay. What's your last name?
Masal.
Okay, and Texas is?
Well, I mean, Austin's the capital. so-
Okay, cool. And I'm gonna pick you, don't mind me, I'm gonna tear you up a little bit, but you're gonna be grateful that I did. Because that's the only way that we're gonna make those changes, right? So when people go and see at, spell it out to me.
Austin.
Austin. You see the chicken scratch on the side of that? You see it? Austin,
Texas, and it's with 2 X's since 1 X was taken.
like that? Mm-hmm. That's it? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. And what do you do for a living?
I work for a real estate developer.
Okay. You work for them?
Yes.
And what do you do for them?
I do financial modeling, capital markets.
Okay. And do you use your Instagram, do you capitalize on your Instagram, showing, like, in any way besides?
I don't personally.
You don't? Are you planning to eventually? Would you like to?
It would, if I did, it would not be for my current employer. It
Okay.
would probably be for something personal.
Sure.
On the side.
Like what?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, everybody wants to be an Insta influencer.
Yeah.
these days.
Absolutely.
So if I did, it would be probably for some sort of product
Okay.
or
What do you like? What type of products or services do you like or do you enjoy?
things related to fitness.
Okay.
Do
Do you go to the gym?
I do.
Okay.
Fitness and health.
Fitness and health, all right. So I can't really tell you up, right, because this is not your objective, it's not, I'm not trying to tear you up, I shouldn't even say that word, I'm just so mean. I can't help it, I'm just, I'm not mean, it comes from the right place, but
You're
I'm
auditing
just
her
really
social
bold.
media.
What?
You're auditing her social media.
Yes. Well, what I'm trying to do is, right, like, make that connection with the relevancy of what she would like to do. So, because she's not in the business of fitness or being an influencer, as she says that she would want to do down the line, right? Her business model, whatever she is trying to achieve, would need to be connected, right? So, for now, how many followers do you have?
Probably like 350 to 400.
All right, that's pretty decent. I mean, being that those are your like personal connections, right? Those are people that you actually know. And is your Instagram private or is it?
It's private.
It's private. So that's a good example, right? So maybe down the line, if you did want to go this route, then you want to align yourself with, hey, I'm a fitness coach, for example, or whatever it is, because this can go on, right? For infinite in so many different ways, you can go on with that. All right, cool. Next, my friend,
Yes.
my coach friend.
Yes.
So looking at your Instagram, and I want everyone to look at their Instagram because it's an audit. What is your bio say of who you are? And like, you guys understand that when people look at your Instagram page is now your business card. That's the world that we live in today, right? So what does your Instagram page look like in your bio?
It says empowering women entrepreneurs to maintain high performance in their business. Book a free one-on-one. TammyZachary.com.
What is it?
Yes.
Your Instagram?
Book me. No.
No, what's your Instagram handle?
My Instagram handle after I got this tip from Jen here, my Instagram handle used to be TammyLid113. Now it's at coach_TAMI. Because now I'm aligning with my profession, which is a personal coach.
And she's been working on this, so now her bio is like on point, right? Because when the AC, Coach Tammy, right? What was it?
Coach_Tammy.
Right, so Coach Tammy still, right?
Yeah.
Coach Tammy. Then they know she's a coach, that's her name, and they can see right away, like, there's a call to action as well on your Instagram, right? So there's a call to action, people know, what niche she's belonging to, real estate and women. They're like, okay, I want to follow her or not follow her, or maybe there is tips, or you know what I mean? There's more relevancy as to why they want to follow Tammy. So, awesome.
Do you have a helpline, a help my
I'm
I
right here.
have no bio, I'm like,
No bio. Yeah, we gotta work on that, girl. And so a lot of, like, even for myself, I can tell you, I need a little bit of work on my end, because I've just developed myself so much that I haven't updated a lot of stuff in my own social media. I'm also, like, I do Instagram Live, I go on stories, I DM a ton of people, but I'm not being very consistent with posting. So that's the other thing, like, your brand and the consistency of your posting is gonna be just as good and equivalent as the amount of followers you're gonna get. So we're always saying, I want more followers, but we're not doing anything, right? We want more followers, but you're not going on live. You're not going and creating stories. You're not giving valuable content. You're not being unique. You're reposting someone else's stuff, and then now it's like, instead of going this way, you're going that way, right? And so, at least if you're being somewhat consistent with your brand and with what you're doing, then you're gonna have the same equivalent result, right? So, did you have any other questions?
I was just wondering.
Okay, she's like now dissecting her Instagram.
No, I'm like, come on, I have no bio, what the hell?
Let me ask you, how much time do you guys spend on Instagram? Or maybe I just say Instagram because it's my preferred platform, but I know there's other people like, Facebook, or they're more YouTubers or whatnot. How much
It
time?
tells you actually, if you go into
Right,
your
so how much
settings,
time?
2.5 hours a day.
How much time do you spend on Instagram?
Not
Zero.
much.
How much time, Alex, do you spend on Instagram?
2.5 hours.
Yeah? How much time do you spend on Instagram?
Just Instagram or all social media?
No, just one platform, your preferred platform at least. Like just-
Okay, on the preferred, about the same, like 2 hours.
Okay, how about for yourself?
I'd like to see, what you.
Oh, in your analytics?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can go and,
Your activity,
In-
you go
insights.
here,
Oh,
Insights.
No, I found it.
yeah, you got it.
So where do I go
you
to?
go here, the 3 little dots on the right top,
here.
and you go to
On the side,
your
and then you go
activity.
insights.
Okay, oh, insights, okay.
You got it?
Okay. Settings?
Wednesdays.
So
Oh, you
yours
just click on
doesn't
that.
have that because yours is not a business page.
Oh, okay.
That's why. She has a personal page, so
Okay.
yeah, it's
So it
a
looks
little
like
bit
this.
different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
How much time do you spend on Instagram?
It should be 1 minute.
It showed me one
Oh,
minute.
it does show me actually.
Okay, we need to work on this a little bit, right? So we should be spending at least an hour. And at least an hour doesn't mean you're scrolling to your Instagram, just scrolling, right? Like, we should be more active. We're doing stories, right? We're going on live Instagram. We're tagging, we're posting consistently, at least one post a day. And then we're also looking at the right hashtags that are aligned to your industry. I know I'm giving you a whole bunch of things, but I want you guys to jot those notes down because those are the things that you're gonna be working on and like accelerating that.
How long do we have to spend a day?
An hour
An
At least
hour.
an hour. Okay.
to be effective. You know what? That's easy. How about Twitter? When you go on Twitter, you're gonna get lost. Because to be effective in Twitter, you need to be tweeting, I already lost count. I think it's like 50 tweets or something like that. I don't know if I'm wrong, maybe even more now, right? Like 50 times.
A day?
Yes.
Oh,
To show something, like to be impactful.
wow.
And so with Instagram and it being free, there's a lot of opportunity for you to connect with people. Aside from being here in a networking space where you get to people, get to interact with people face to face, Instagram gives you the opportunity to do that. And we're not doing anything. We're not doing anything about that. A lot of people are not. I mean, the people that want to become influencers, like you said, those guys are like addicts, if anything.
It's like their
Right.
full-time job.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then there's other people that are like creating content, but they're still like in between, like what type of content it should be creating or not creating, and then worried about what else is thinking and what other people are gonna think of them. And all these things are going on in their heads, and now it starts to weight them. And that's not what social media is. right? People don't go to social media to buy any products. Let's get that straight, right? They don't go to your social media and your Instagram to buy anything from you. People are going there to get entertained. So if the information is not valuable and it's not relevant and it's not fun, guess what?
Next.
Just like that. you get past. You get past, right? So why is Instagram and like social media platforms so hard? I'd say hard for people is because a lot of times what social media is all about creativity. It's all about creation. It's all about captivating the audience. It's all about being that superstar, right? And if you can't think about like picking up the phone or like, you know, and doing a blog and like knowing the message and knowing who you're targeting and all these other factors that come along with it, it can be hard. And it can, better than anything, you don't even want to do it. You're like, what the heck am I gonna say? How am I gonna do it? What is the picture gonna look like? How do I look interesting, right? Because you're focused in your business. And that's, you know, Instagram alone is just it's another job on its own. So what do you guys know? Yeah, go ahead.
When you say like Instagram is your business, then you're talking about your business account, not your personal one, or you like merging them? Like
Say the question again?
Right, I have my personal account, like this one.
Yeah, sure.
And I created the one for the NGO I'm working.
Okay.
But when you say, you know, it's your business account, like you want to, how do you, you know that line?
Transition,
Yeah,
or what do you
like-
separate? Should you be
Yeah.
separating content? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, and also like, you know, making sure your posts are aligned to like, or let's say I'm super interested in fitness, and then
Yeah.
I put there on my bio, but then I work in this LGBT thing, and then I'm posting about it, and it's
Yeah.
kind of like,
Sure.
maybe I should leave my bio more neutral or something.
So here's the other thing. I get that question asked all the time. Everyone that's going onto your Instagram, they know that you're a person. There's a person behind there doing this, right? So they understand that you have multiple things that you're into.
Okay.
You're gonna be a mom, right? If you're a mom, you're gonna be into fitness, you're gonna be a businesswoman. There's multiple interests that are aligned to that. It's the way you present it that has to be comprehensive to the people that are gonna be looking at it, right? And it's the way you're presenting it. So you need to think of and put yourself in the shoes of your audience, right? When people are looking at your Instagram, what are they looking at? What are they seeing? They're coming to me because of what, right? Because I'm cool, because I'm interesting, right? Because I love fitness and I'm a mom, but I'm also a businesswoman, right? So that may be your situation, right? Where you're saying you like fitness, right? And then should I be posting about fitness? Sure, because they're buying into you. People don't buy, what do we say? People buy people, right? People buy stories, right? And people buy because they trust you and they like you. That's it. And how are they gonna trust you and like you? You need to build that credibility. You can't say like you're a robot. I sell water. Do you want to buy water? It's 99 cents, right? You can't do that. You need to be more fluent to what you're doing, right? Why should they buy water from you and not 10? Right? The product is the same, right? Where they're gonna get it is the same. Price may be very competitive, 2 cents difference, 5 cents difference, whatever it is. But people are gonna buy into you. So when you think and create content, you need to think about you, because you are your brand. You represent your product and your services. And so whether it be coaching or whether it be real estate, people are gonna buy into what makes Tammy unique than anyone else. Well, guess what? She's very aligned into her niche, right? You can find a million coaches, but I don't know if you can find, so many that are women in real estate, right? And so that's what makes her more unique. Same thing with you. There's a ton of people that do real estate. Are there a lot of people in real estate? Like, you need to find what's unique in you. You probably speak more than 2 languages. I don't know if you do. I'm just saying.
5.
There you go. We've had other conversations, it's not all coming to me, right?
Yeah.
But there's a particular reason why people want to do business with you than anyone else, right? There's a lot of people that speak 2 languages, but not 5, right? And so why aren't you using that as your selling tool,
I do on my website, but I should probably do it more on social media.
right? That is a huge, huge, huge advantage. Because a lot of times, especially when you're in the investment world, you may have someone that literally, Chinese, I'm sorry, cash, right? Russians, cash. And they have to bring their translator. Or they have, and they're doing a deal with you, and guess what? I speak your language.
Yeah, leave your translator at home.
Yeah, you can leave it at home. And then you create that report directly with me. Because a lot of things get, lost in the translation. And so that is one of your key selling points. And that's what you need to capitalize on your unique skills that no one else can have, and where you're located. Because you can, that's what you need to find to make you excel. Did you have another question?
I don't know, I was just wondering then how you can suggest shoes that you can make a good bio for your.
We'll work on that one.
Okay.
Because that's a bigger exercise.
Okay.
A little bit bigger exercise that, right now I'm like, but definitely we need to work on that.
Mhm.
It's more strategic.
Okay.
So you definitely need to have a call to action. That's a must. You definitely need to have a link, and you need to be sending people somewhere else. Somewhere else, I don't care where. You have an opportunity to put a link, you better put a link in there. And it could be to another one of your platforms, that's fine. But take that opportunity, otherwise it's a waste, right?
Mhm.
So I'm going a little bit in different directions, but I wanted to talk to you about growing your first 10,000 followers. Do you guys have any idea how you would go about doing that?
Pay someone.
I love Terry, pay someone. It's getting done. I'm not even gonna. Sold. American Express, Visa, or MasterCard. Sign right here, baby. All right, cool. Besides paying someone, definitely hiring somebody.
Hashtags?
Hashtags, absolutely. Do you guys know how many hashtags you should be using per post? So the algorithm and technology changes consistently. Last time I checked, and correct me if I'm wrong, are we still around the 9 to 11 hashtags, right? 9 to 11 hashtags. She's like, hashtag who? I know that's on my keypad, no, I'm just
Per
kidding.
post? Per post, so you can get.
Yes,
Whoa.
yes.
Is there a difference if I put ads or hashtag? Is it the same?
It's completely different.
Okay.
Completely different. This is your hashtag, right?
Uh-huh.
And this is your, I'm gonna try to make a pretty one for you. Ooh, there you go. Man, that's pretty. It looks, wait. She makes fun of me too. You know what it is? All right, stop making fun of me enough. All right, this looks more than that. Okay, there it is. Jesus.
Close enough.
There it is, yeah. It was too perfect when I made it. It didn't even look like an ad anymore. All right, so your hashtags are your pages that people are going to go on and follow to view your content, right? So for example, there are most popular hashtags. For example, entrepreneur, or leadership, or money. Like the most common used words, those are gonna be your hashtags.
So those are interests, right? If I'm interested
Sure, yes,
on
they're
how-
based on interest. Yeah, exactly.
Like I like adventure and women entrepreneurs. So those are the hashtags that I follow, and light worker. Those are the ones that like I like.
And they're gonna be on your feed.
They're on my
And
feed.
so Instagram understands already who you are, what you like, and when you go on your Instagram, you already see the things that Instagram already knows the things that you're most interested in. Not necessarily the hashtags that you use the most, but the things that you like to look at
Yeah.
the most.
I
Right.
follow hashtag adventure, lightworker, women
Because
entrepreneurs.
for me, it's completely different. Like I do a lot of different hashtags that have to do with events, business, entrepreneurship, growth, learning, tech, all that stuff. But when you go onto my feed to look at my stuff, you don't see none of that stuff. I watch videos, people dancing. It's completely different. Completely different, and that's my fun time. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I'm like, you know? It's different. You know, you'll have my social media gurus that are there too, but you know, it's not necessarily everything that you're doing hashtags on. So, for example, if we do like a hashtag home, very generic, there might be like literally like 8 million followers on this. If your account is just starting, for you to start creating movement and like moving the needle with your Instagram, you should be doing hashtags that have less amount of followers. Because these are already, put it this way, they already have achieved a certain level of prestige or interest, right? They're at very high level. So the people that are up here, it's like those people are influencers, those people are consistently there, they have huge following. So you're teeny weeny one person here, and then you do a hashtag like this. When you do that hashtag and you post that on your story, you need to climb the ladder.
So I want to get the ones that has less.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So you want to start doing hashtag where it might be more niche. It might be like home in Jersey, for example,
Okay.
or maybe your hometown, home Jersey and beyond. It might only be 100. Might only be, you know. So when you start using those hashtags, then your post now becomes more relevant because it understands that you have maybe 50 or 500, and it's easier to connect. But if you do this, it's going to be a jump. Your stuff is going to get lost.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So when I do the hashtags, I think about my audience.
Yes.
Not like my interests, for example. I want to attract more LGBT people to our page,
Mhm.
you know, to create a strong community.
Yeah.
So every post I do, I put hashtag LGBTQ. That's
Sure.
it. Should I put a bunch like LGBTQ, blah, 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 LGBT
Yeah,
this and that?
you should be, first of all, you should be creating your own hashtags, right, too.
Oh.
Creating your own hashtags, sure, right? What's your goal? Let me ask you, like I just said that because of what I already know, but let me ask you, like what is the goal? Like, that's, let me just put this down, LGBT, right?
Yeah,
Oh my
Q.
God, Q.
Mhm.
For the people that don't know who is,
Yeah, the queer, yeah.
who is the organization?
Right, so the organization is to get more and more people involved
Mm-hmm.
to do public advocacy and civic engagement around education, but it's not just for white men, which has been like the hurdle that we always bump in is like, oh, but it's another NGO for LGBT people, like just these rich people.
Uh-huh.
They want to be diverse, like the
Right.
organization wants to be diverse and attract Latinos, attract,
What does
foreigners,
LGBTQ stand for?
lesbians, gays, bisexual, trans, and the queer, which is like
Because
people that
last time
love
it was,
the
last time I heard of it is LGBT, but it was, I didn't, the Q
fun.
was.
No, has the Q.
Yeah, I didn't know about the Q.
The
That's
Q
why I'm
is the
asking
queer,
you.
where people that are not like, they
Don't fit in.
No, they don't want to be identified as the gender that they were born with.
Okay.
They are undecided.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
They
don't
have
know
a
who I am
gender.
just yet, it's working around.
And
the
there's
world.
way more now. There's Q and there are other letters.
There's more?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay. So I wanted to be educated. I don't want to go around giving you advice if I'm not, you know what I mean?
Right.
I wanna,
When you say you can create your own hashtags,
Yeah.
like, how do you do that?
you just put it.
You just write
You
whatever
just
you want?
write it. You can, I can create, I can create, Gen Marketing Hub or something, I don't know.
So let's say
cares?
you're
It
the
doesn't
first
matter.
person to do it, other people are gonna start doing it?
Well, only if you need to be strategic, right? If you're gonna start using it, now you wanna start creating awareness around it. How's everyone gonna know that you have your own hashtag,
Yeah.
right? So every time you post, yes, you need to first, number one, be consistent, right? Number two, let people know in your bio, hey, I have a hashtag,
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah. Go on my hashtag, and then you can see all the stuff that you have created.
So I could create a hashtag with the name of the NGO, like new
That's it.
hashtag new predator.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then to add on to that, you could do contests. And that's where the fun really gets
What is
cool.
that?
Contests. So if, the organization, should have some sort of marketing budget, right? To say like, everyone hashtag, for example, LGBTQ 2020, right? And then you have like your 2020 goals, and then you gotta start doing a campaign around that goal, right? And then you reverse engineer that campaign. And then you say, well, now our goal is, what's the goal, for example?
Right now, to get more LGBT people to vote.
To vote.
Yeah.
So,
2020
how
vote.
do, yeah, LGBT 2020, you
Go
can be, yeah, but it's so long too that I always need to, when you're doing social media, always try to keep it simple and stupid. Did you know, this is what, I got to quote this is Ty's quote, did you know that we're competing against goldfish?
What?
He knows. John knows.
Goldfish have memories that are erased in about 3 hours, so your
The length-
your hashtag has
The
to be
length
simple and
of
short enough.
retention and
Yeah.
loss of interest, like even the fact that I'm up here and you guys are still looking at me, not your phones, it's like a lot, right? And you're engaged. But we lose people very easy, very, very easy. See, I'm keeping
That's why they do a 3-minute video.
engaged. But, so because of that, we need to keep things simple and stupid. If you start creating a campaign around a contest that's gonna be too complicated, that you're gonna ask people to, go climb the moon, you better forget about it. It's not gonna happen. If you're gonna ask them, do hashtag and tag and take a picture and this and that, you better have a good price. You better be, raffling a car or something, for all that effort. So it needs to be, you gotta be very mindful of that. Again, I would go around like the goal, right? And then every time you do this hashtag, now you're creating content around that hashtag. And then have people do things that revolve that goal. So if there's more people that you want them to vote, then hey, take a picture, let me know when you did a vote, take a picture, do a hashtag, tag us, we'll give you a shout out. You'll show up on our page. Like, how cool is that? Who doesn't want that? Right?
Right now, we only have 100 followers, so I'm not sure how cool.
Who doesn't want that? Well, that's the goal, right? To create that sense of awareness and that sense of community, right? Because when you have like-minded people within that same community, what are they gonna want? They're gonna wanna be seen. They wanna be acknowledged. They want followers, right? So you always, every time you're creating these things, you always have to think about like, who's looking at my content? Why are they coming to follow me? How much value am I giving to them? And what's in return? Because they can be in someone else's page right now,
Got it.
instead of mine.
Sorry, if I can ask one more question. At the beginning, you said make sure your posts are clear and relevant, otherwise people will not, pay attention to it. How can you make something super relevant and simple and stupid? For example, because my boss, she's a lobbyist, no person.
Yeah.
She is very traditional.
Yeah.
And when I do the post, she wants to reveal it and changes the language and it's super formal and the
What?
punctuation
The
is
solution
right.
to that? You get her, she can't be in charge of this.
Yeah. And I
Just
try
make
to
her
write more funny.
understand
They're
that
like, this is not
The, so this is the huge struggle that's the struggle that I face a lot of times with my clients, because I do the hand holding and I'm like, listen, especially if they're an older generation, they don't understand that the clock is ticking, and by the time you guys figure out the content, our competitors or people that, you know, are currently doing campaigns and stuff like that, they already have 100 people that voted. And you're over here trying to figure out what it is that you're gonna put on your post. 2019 and 2020 is right around the corner, right? So you need to have that conversation first and saying, let me show you why we need to either A, hire an agency to do this, B, have a strategic marketing campaign, and then C, why this thing needs to go much faster than what it is, right? And so how do you do that? You grab your competitors, you grab other people, other Instagrams or other pages that are being much more relevant, and then you show her, look at this page. This page has 2,000 views. Why do we only have 200? Right? Right? Because we're not posting consistently, because we're not being creative, because we're not doing all these things. So our competition is these people, the guys that have 2,000 views, and we have 200. And what is the difference? It's pretty clear, right? You can compare those, compare contrast. And then now it's just like, oh, okay, I get you. Now I know what I need to do. So moving forward, as far as the followers, the first thing you want to do is start with your immediate, the people that you know closest to you, which are your family and friends.
And now you're doing ads, not hashtags anymore, right?
I finished with the hashtag stuff. Now, you already know that you can do campaigns, you can do contests, and then you can create your own hashtags, and then it's between 9 to 11. You want to keep it civil as far as the amount of hashtags you want to use. And you want to be consistent. Yeah, you want to post every single day. You don't post once today and then like 2 months later or 3 weeks later. You lose your audience. The people that started following you, they're like, oh, she's not there anymore. Okay. It's almost like bringing a menu in a restaurant, and then there's no waiter. Who's gonna take the order? No one there, right? So how we're gonna create and increase those 10,000 followers by using our immediate family, right? Those are the people that you can talk to, and they can post. You know, if you're doing like from a personal page to a business page, it would be in this case, hey, would you mind doing a repost on your feed? They're gonna say no, your family and friends, I mean, they will support you, right? So they'll post it on their feed. They'll have relevant people that are close to you that will start following you, right? Because now you're starting at ground zero. You only have like 3 followers.
But the repost is only on the stories, right?
Say
If I
again?
repost whatever you put, it goes only to my stories, not my feed.
Which, say again?
Sorry. If I repost anything that you posted, it
Mhm.
goes to my stories, not on my feed.
It can go on either.
Yeah, talk.
You could do it.
You can go on either. If you want to do it on your story, you do it on your story. If you want to do it on your if they could do both, even better, right? Let's say you had an amazing picture, right, with an actor. Like, how cool is that? What an actor? Would you mind posting that picture in your feed and asking people to
Yeah, they
follow
were
me?
saying this is illegal, that you can't repost people's posts because Instagram won't allow that. It doesn't give you even the option
When was this?
that they were showing me there.
There's some accounts that there's like it gives you some sort of restriction depending on the type of content that you can't repost. But this is between your family and friends, right? So your uncle is gonna repost that picture and he's gonna say, hey, follow my niece. There's her Instagram. Go. And he can do that on both feed and the story. So what I'm going at is start with your immediate circle, right? Your immediate circle, then you go bigger, then you go bigger, then you go bigger. These are your family and friends, these people here. And then the friends of your family are the other circle, right? And then you want to be asking people, hey, the approach is, if I came to you and you're her friend, your name again, I'm so sorry.
Lillian?
Lillian. And if I say, hey Lillian, I send you a DM. I love that picture with Robert De Niro. Oh my God, would you mind if I repost that picture? Would you mind? All right, awesome. I'm gonna repost that picture. It's gonna be on my feed, and then I'm gonna tag you on it. I'm gonna put that on my story. Awesome, right? You're not gonna tell me now. Day later, you wait a little bit, right? Hey, would you mind reposting a picture for me? Right? So I did something for you. You'll do something for me. Now we're collaborating with each other's followers, because now when I post your picture, I'm gonna ask my followers to follow you. When you post my picture, you can ask for people to follow me. You do a shout out for shout out, right? So that's what you want to, those are the things that you want to do organically, because the friends of your friends are going to know. Like, who are you? Who's this person? Oh, I know her because especially with you, oh my God. So many people that know Tammy. Everybody knows Tammy. For hers to be an easy 10,000 followers, you kidding me? Could be done today.
Yeah. Well,
Today.
like, add the tag, the hashtag,
Today.
add story, okay, done.
So the other tool that you guys can be using, I'm almost running out of my time, is sending DMs, right? You want to send direct messages to people and let them know. The same thing. Hey, I saw a really cool picture of you. Would you mind if I repost that on my feed? Who's gonna say no? No, don't. I don't want you to repost. Heck yes, repost that. And then you do that a couple of times. You have my friend over here, Austin, who has 350 followers. How many followers do you have, Tam?
1,200.
So Tammy has 1,200. You start doing the math, right? And you add all that up. Let's start putting the dollars. If you start adding it all up, right? Not everyone's gonna follow for sure, but you're gonna get at least 10% of those people. And you do that repetitively, right? With Austin, with Tammy, with Jen, with Alex, right? Now you start getting views. Now you start getting people in the door. And now this becomes a number, right? Maybe you did 300 followers. When you were at 1, you were at around 0, right? The other thing is following people that are your competition, right? If your competition they're your competition for a reason, because they're doing better than you, probably, right? Or somewhat similar, right? So understand, and the best way that you can excel is by learning and see what it is that they're doing, and either A, copy what they're doing, or see how you can make it better, and then go on top. But with all that, you need to start implementing some strategic, posting, hashtags, be consistent, be relevant, all that good stuff. Anybody else?
Everyone started with 1 follower.
That's right, everybody starts from ground 0.
So I know this girl who her goal was to be on the what's it called, the feature page?
Yeah.
The explore page. And so she joined a Facebook group where everybody in the group wanted the same thing. So it's sort of like a quid pro quo thing for
Yeah.
Instagram likes.
Mhm.
So they would all post like Sunday at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
They would post their posts, and if you wanted to continue being part of the group, you had to like everybody's
Sure,
photos.
those are engagement groups.
Yes, and so,
So
the
definitely-
goal was to be on the explore page.
Yeah, that's another way to get into the explore page would be that, right? If this is strategically niche performed, like, right? So you have to be in the fitness only, right? If you want to be like, oh, I want to show up in the explore page for fitness, then okay, then that's what we're gonna do. You can become part of a engagement group. There's a lot of engagement out there. There's people that start their own engagement group, and that is exactly what's required. You could go on Telegram, then people, they'll do their post. So for example, I'll do my post, Tammy does her post, Alex does his post.
That's illegal.
No?
I wouldn't advise that.
What?
The Instagram really punish for those.
For what?
Engagement groups. If you look at the official policy for Instagram, they're pretty much against those.
When did this happen?
Few
I've
months.
seen it too.
Yeah, they track
Few
IP.
months?
Yeah, they track IP addresses, they will penalize you now, I don't know.
Like for like, that's.
To
like
what
the-
extent, although? Because it's always like technology is always changing. That's why I always have to ask, when was
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
honestly,
I've been doing engagement groups. We did engagement groups.
You can still
with-
do them, but they
Yeah.
will bury you, much lower in their algorithm than those who don't do it.
Correct, they won't count it as equal as to like an organic, or an organic comment or
Sure,
follow.
sure.
Yeah.
No, I can see how that can work against you.
It's better than nothing, but
For-
it's not the
yeah.
same value as it was prior to the
Prior
change.
to that.
Yeah.
Sure, could be possible. I mean, for the sake of what she was addressing, which was like, hey, come on to be shown on the Explore page. If you have a certain amount of people coming on there, following, and now A, your following starts growing, B, you have more comments, and that's basically what Instagram is doing. It's trying to cut all the wings from everyone across the board in the way
Whenever they
it's
find the farm in China or like India, wherever those farms, or Russia for that matter, everybody who ever used those farms get like basically blacklisted, and their Instagram
I
it's very
think there must be
difficult,
some
very
sort
difficult
of-
to.
There's a key point that you're addressing, Alex, and I think that, as you said, if it's like foreign, like in Russia, China,
We have plenty
India.
of those farms here in
Yeah.
the States also.
Exactly.
It's just like offices with a whole bunch of computers and the cell phones.
Right.
Okay.
Those are bots though, but what we're talking about is
Even with the people, they look at this like more sophisticated ones,
Yeah.
but it's still.
I haven't-
believe
I haven't-
building your own content
Yeah.
is the key here.
I know we did a lot of engagement groups with Paul where we even, did offers where we would even charge for an engagement group.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, you want to be part of the engagement group? Cool, it's $7 a month. And now you have an access of a huge network of, I don't know, could be as small as 15 people, could be as big as 25, 30, I don't know. Right? And then, but there's rules to the game, right? You have to be following that person, you have to be commenting and liking. So that's one way to beat the algorithm, but as far as like the updates on that, like, and to see, hey, that's gonna bury you, it's gonna suck, for real. It's gonna make it even, it's sucking away because, believe it or not, like, those people that you're creating engagement groups with, you end up having business relationship with them. It's not fake,
That's different.
you know?
That's real.
That's what I'm saying. Those are things that we're talking about. Like, I can create an engagement group with Tammy on WhatsApp. We can do that. It doesn't have to be Telegram. It doesn't even have to understand that it's coming from there. The only caveat to engagement groups is to be able to captivate all the information in one place. And that's what Telegram and WhatsApp allows you to do. Why? Because it's gonna give me Tammy's phone number. It's gonna say there's a number for Tammy. It's not a bot. It's a number, right? It's an existing account, right? And then she's gonna know the name of the game, which is follow and like and comment, and that can be us. We can be an engagement group. So if you're cutting that, I'm like, where are we at? Where are we going? We can't, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of opportunity. We can do a lot of business among ourselves. Does that mean that we can't accelerate and do an engagement group? I don't know. But technology changes all the time, again. Hence why it is hard to kind of like do a lot of these things, because by the time you learn one thing, the 2 or 3 other things are already happening. And then you're left behind. Did anyone else have any questions? I can go on with Instagram all day. No? look like you have something in mind, but.
No, I've just realized that I need to improve on my performance on Instagram.
What do you do for a living?
I run a construction company
Okay.
and I also run a jewelry company.
A what?
A jewelry company.
A jewelry company, okay.
That scared me. I was like, what is that?
A jewelry.
accent.
No, you're fine, no, it's good. Where is it located?
It's in Kenya.
Kenya.
Kenya. Oh, okay, okay. So you manage what, the sales process? Is it online? Like, what's the business model behind the jewelry company?
The jewelry is relatively new, so I've been trying to target the export market. In fact, that's why I'm here, because I'm seeking for an agent in the USA.
Okay.
Yeah.
To do what? The
To
actual.
market the jewelry.
Oh, okay. We can
Distribution.
talk then for sure.
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. That's another business that I have, but it's yeah.
Then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be both at ground zero, so we'll make it
Yeah.
happen. Anyone else? Good? Do
But
we
I have a
see if,
question.
say again?
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
In my country, I have a political career,
Oh,
and I also have a jewelry company, and I also do a lot of mentorship. So does it mean I need to have 3 accounts?
you don't. You don't, right? Just answering her question, right? Because people understand who you are, right? It depends what type of political, I would say, because when it comes to politics, it can be a little bit tricky, right? So it depends what your position is. In, what's your position?
I intend to contest for political position in
Oh.
2022.
Look at you.
Yeah.
You're gonna be the next president.
10 years from now, I want to be the
Love
president.
it.
In fact, when she asked, that was one of the things I wrote down.
Really?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, I got goosebumps right now. Jeez.
You can have it.
Somebody has.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
Okay.
that's where I am at. So sometimes I wonder, like, because of the political side, do I need to run the jewelry page as a proxy?
Yeah. I would say I don't want to give you the wrong advice because the biggest thing that comes up with thinking of something like this is the culture, right? So the way we perceive it is going to be completely different than what back home
Yeah.
perceives it as, right? So I would take those things in consideration first. And then maybe your political career could be just your political career, and then your entrepreneur, jewelry and maybe other things that you do with your life can be a separate one because of that specifically, right? The politics and culture, it's like a whole other different level, right? They're gonna view you much differently. They're like, what's this lady doing? She a politician selling jewelry, right? Like, right?
Yeah.
So those are things you need to be aware of. And if that's the type of culture, then yeah, I would definitely suggest you to separate your politician career and aside from your entrepreneur career. But if you don't see it affecting it, which I highly doubt that's the case, then I would just separate it. Well, people will find out eventually, because if you really start doing what you need to do and you'll be growing, they'll find out, but at least they're not gonna get that immediate awareness up that that's the way you present yourself, right? Thank you. Anyone else? Good? Amazing? Love it. Let's see if Andy's still available to have on. See, I put him out a little bit. Do you want to hook up your computer and see if we can do like a Zoom call with Andy?